to pull over, not be driving through this, and get to a safe location. And, you know, I know that's difficult and people think they can try to outrun it, but that is just not going to be the smart thing to do at this time. The atmosphere is just completely juiced at this point, and we're likely going to be seeing this continue. Now, I'm going to take another view out wide, and if we put on our lightning track, I want to show you what is to come. So out just to the east of Austin and Red Rock, we do have some strong storms pulsing up. Now, it's a special weather statement, which just means that it's not quite at criteria for a severe thunderstorm warning or for a tornado warning. But we are seeing some really heavy rain passing out toward Pflugerville, Taylor, Manor, heading toward Rockdale and Giddings. Bastrop is likely going to be getting in on that action as well. And some heavy rain. There we go. So this is at 99 and Shaw Road. Remember I mentioned Grand Parkway and it's overhead? Yeah, that's exactly what you're seeing right now. We're looking at rain falling at a rate of 1 to 2 inches per hour. This is difficult to drive through. It almost looks like there's a big wall of fog ahead of you and you can't see. Well, that's the heavy rain. Difficult to see through, not something you want to drive through. So please slow down. I know here in Texas, folks are really good at putting those hazards on, the blinking lights, just to let folks know that I'm slowing down, and please do that. So 99 to the Northwest Freeway, or 290, we're seeing some really heavy rain overhead. If you live near Mason Road, Grand Parkway, even up toward Bower Road, and then into Cypress, we're looking at Louetta getting in on some of that heavy rain. Bridgeland, it looks like Fry Road and Greenhouse Road, so right there near Town Lake, you're actually seeing a bit of relief from that. But I want to just zoom back out now because it looks like our hail tracker has updated a little bit. So when you see these colors in the pink, it's just showing, and for some reason it doesn't want to give me any info there, but we still could be seeing hail up to 1 inch in diameter. So this is a situation where, ooh, look at all those spots. We did earlier, about, it looks like 20 minutes ago, there was a funnel reported. That prompted a tornado warning. They have skinnied up the tornado warning, and it is set to expire in about 45 seconds from now. So we'll see if the National Weather Service does that. Even if it does, the good news is winds have decreased a lot within this cell. That is very good news. We don't see as big of a couplet. So when we see these bright reds and greens, those are winds moving toward and away from the radar in a circular motion, and then that's when a funnel does form. So the good news is we're not seeing that. There are still pockets of very heavy rain. We're still seeing some lightning with it. But guess what? Back down toward Katy, and it does look like they just issued another tornado warning near Cypress. So let's see. Yep, they have extended this. So actually it's a completely different warning, but you can see here now it extends all the way up into Tomball. And we're going to see that continue to move off to the north and east. So again, this tornado warning back here is set to expire, and there you go. While we're on the air, just did that. So we have this tornado warning now in effect until 11:30 in the afternoon. So what I'm going to do is take some of this heavy rain, and it's moving to the northeast at 30 miles per hour. So we track it out, and we can tell you exactly where this is going. You live in Cypress. This is overhead on your doorstep. Coles Crossing, 8 minutes is when we are going to be seeing some of the stronger winds start to roll in. That's where the potential for hail will also be arriving. Charterwood, 20 minutes. Tomball, about 20 minutes from now. You need to make sure that you are in your safe place. And we are going to continue to monitor this for you until the threat does decrease. But I'm not going to lie, this is likely something that we're going to continue to watch. So what we're going to do is go back to our velocity scan. And I will say, we talked about the reds and greens. It's very limited at this time, but that doesn't mean that there isn't still the chance for some rotation. And you never want a tornado warning, ever. That's not something that we want to see. But this is happening during the day, so folks can actually see the funnel, and hopefully that will get them to safety. The thing is, the overview of what we're monitoring, and I do have a second to show that, we are looking at the threat for some strong storms. So for us here in Southeast Texas, we have a 1 to 2 out of 5 risk for severe weather. And if I take you out to what we're seeing across Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama later tonight, I mean, we're talking an overnight event. It's going to be pitch black out there. We could be seeing a tornado outbreak. So the fact that we have seen a funnel already shows me that the atmosphere is ready to go. We're seeing a whole lot of rain, all that moisture coming from the Gulf. So it's not just here in Southeast Texas, but a really big area. And the reason I'm telling you that is because we know that there's a lot of people traveling. It's the Saturday after Christmas and before New Year's. And you better believe a lot of people are going to be on the roads trying to get to the airport, whatever it is, to get to their next destination. And you just need to make sure that you are being safe and that you have a way of receiving severe weather alerts. So if we zoom out, you can see that there is a line of showers and thunderstorms extending from Huntsville and all the way down to the coast. And within it, we have seen a few spots with rotation. And if I just zoom out, not much happening south into Wharton and Fort Bend counties. It's really this cell right here in, Harris County, but also I'm looking at some pretty strong winds up into Montgomery County. Okay, about 30-mile-per-hour winds. That's still a bit punchy to be out and about in. And we have some pictures. Thank you so much. Angel is the director of my ear. There you go. This is exactly what I'm talking about, and I'm just going to zoom in, or I'm just going to walk to go read exactly what this tweet says. This was the funnel in the cell north of Katy 5 minutes ago. I could not tell if it's on the ground or not. So exactly what I was saying, where from these photos that we're seeing, not sure if it's on the ground, but what we do know is that there was a funnel, and this atmosphere has the potential to do it again. So this was at about 10:43 when the warning initially popped up. But it's so great that we get to see pictures, and truly we appreciate everybody staying safe while taking these photos. But take a look at the scene. This is a neighborhood. This is where people live. This is where folks are out and about. I mean, I was just telling my husband, please get inside, but we had some yard crew in the area, and I said, please go out and tell them to get to safety. This is not something that we want to be messing with or playing with. Very dangerous situation, because with these funnels and tornadoes, the ranking or how we tell how strong they are is based on the damage. So one down tree, maybe not quite as strong of winds, but roofs completely blown off, a lot of damage. And we just want you to know that if you're driving through this, it is going to be difficult to see. I mean, not something you want to be driving through. And we are monitoring several areas with this heavy rain. So my director Angel's been doing such a good job at popping up some cameras, and this is 99 at Shaw Road. And, you know, I'm looking at the radar right now and saying, yeah, this is exactly where we are seeing some rainfall rates at 2+ inches per hour. And when we're talking that much rain in a short amount of time, street flooding. I mean, we're here in Houston. You know exactly where it is. You know in your neighborhood where those low-lying areas are, and we're going to continue to see the potential for that. The thing with it is, okay, so we have these rainfall rates that are high. Well, guess what? Cypress is the spot, and if you live there, you know what I'm talking about. Hold that thought. I will get to that. I just want to see what... Okay, National Weather Service is saying that a confirmed tornado was located over Cypress, or about 10 miles northwest of Jersey Village, damaging tornado and quarter-sized hail. So they're saying that the public is saying that there was a tornado sighting at the intersection of 290 and Spring Cypress Road. Okay, we're going to be going on air right now, so just give me 1 second and we will reset for you. Angel, will you just take the, oh no, just leave this. This is good actually. Hello everyone, I'm Fox 26 meteorologist Allison Gargaro, and we are breaking into our programming to let you know of a confirmed tornado. This is in Harris County up near Cypress. So I'm getting in information from the National Weather Service right now. They are saying that a tornado was sighted near the intersection of 290 and Spring Cypress Road. If you live in this area, you live in Bridgeland, Cypress, on the eastern side of 290, please get to safety right now. A dangerous tornado was spotted and on the ground. And here we go. I want to get right on into it. Our radar is showing that we have some strong winds moving toward and away from the radar. What I circled here right now is showing colors of bright red and bright green. And that means that the winds are really starting to kick up. So we are looking at 290 and Spring Cypress. And actually Spring Cypress Road is right down here, but we have Fry Road, which is going to be coming up here. And if you've ever been to this area, you know how busy it is. This is a look at 290 and Spring Cypress. The ground is wet. This is not something you want to be driving through. The thing is, it's not just the potential for the tornado. Also, hail is going to be possible, and we could be seeing quarter-sized hail. That is dangerous. You do not want to be driving through this. Now, what else I'm going to show you with the hail is that the hail threat is over Cypress. We're seeing it out toward Tomball and then all the way in, Bridgeland there rather, and then heading toward Tomball. So let's get you back out to the velocity. And what I'm going to do is actually time it out for you, because if you live near Cypress and 290, it's important that you are getting into your safe place. This thunderstorm that did have a confirmed tornado from the National Weather Service is moving toward the northeast at 30 miles per hour. Now think of in your neighborhood, the speed limit is probably about 30 miles per hour. You know how fast that is. This is going to be moving quickly. We have strong winds. Cypress, you are under this tornado warning and where the potential rotation is as we speak. It's moving toward Coles Crossing in 5 minutes. We know Longwood is near there as well. We have Charterwood coming up in about 16 minutes. Tomball in 19, and the Preserve heading toward the Woodlands will be moving in about 27 minutes from now. So we are looking at this very heavy rain, and I want to take you back out to the radar because the heavy rain is extending far to the south toward Katy as well. But it's going to be this area, Cypress and Tomball, that we're watching closely. Now we want to take you out to a photo that one of our viewers actually posted on social media. And so this was actually posted at about 10:47, and Dr. Quentin Lawton is saying this was the funnel in the cell north of Katy 5 minutes ago. So around 10:40, let's call it. Could not tell if it was on the ground or not. And I just want to set the scene that these are moving over neighborhoods. You probably have yard work to do or whatever it is, walk the dog. You saw in that photo that there was somebody getting out of their truck trying to do some work. This is not the time to do so. If you live in Cypress, if you live in Tomball, if you live in Charterwood, if you live anywhere between 290 and 249, you need to get to your safe place as we speak. The camera that you see below me is 290 at Spring Cypress, and that is where the National Weather Service says that they had public reports of a tornado that was sighted near the intersection of 290 and Spring Cypress. So right there, I want to let you know conditions are deteriorating quickly out in this location, and we're looking at the potential for flying debris. We ask that you get to your safe place. Take a look at all the lightning that's coming, that heavy rain. This is going to be difficult to drive through. Looks like people are already starting to pump the brakes. Just please slow down. Get to a safe place. If you're in your home, we're looking at a ton of lightning that is now crossed over 290 and is heading toward 249. And if I can just show you on the radar right now, we have 249 here out toward Tomball and then 290. So we're looking at these roadways that a lot of people drive through. And I mentioned just what we're up against today is that a lot of folks are going to be trying out doing returns. You know, it's the weekend. A lot of people are going to be off, and this is not something that you want to be out and about driving in. I do know, so just north of Spring Cypress is where the outlets are, and it looks like the tornado warning is just outside where the outlets are, but still, 290 is pretty close. Or rather, Spring Cypress is very close to where those are. So please get to your safe place. A safe place, obviously we don't have any basements here in Southeast Texas. So get inside, go to the interior bathroom, go to your laundry room, get away from any windows, grab your phone. You can download the Fox Local app on your phone and you can watch me, and I'm going to continue to bring you updates. So what I want to do is clear out our rain there, and I want to take you down to some streets. So we have Skinner Road, 290 Northwest Freeway. So moving in, Spring Cypress and Skinner, I know that there's a ton of restaurants there. We're getting close to where some school halls are. I know that there's a big hospital along 290 and Jarvis. You need to make sure that you are getting into your safe spot. We have Coles Crossing here, the park, Stablewood Farms, Cypress Field, the villages of Stablewood Farms. We have Loretta Road, Telge, Huffmeister, and then even Spring Cypress and Luetta heading toward 290. This is where the rotation is. And if I just zoom out here for you, I do want to take you into, okay, we're looking at video of where the heavy rain is falling, but some of these winds were picking up anywhere from 25 to nearly 35 miles per hour. This is going to be difficult to drive through. The thing is with these tornadoes, it's during the day. So folks like who sent us the photo there, yes, you're able to see it, but the problem is we're seeing so much rain is that it's rain wrapped. So yes, you can see something dark maybe coming toward you, but the fact that the rotation where the funnel would be is rain wrapped, that does make it very difficult for folks to see. Now, here we go. I'm going to take you out. And what you're looking at is our shear tracker, or it's showing where rotation is. And weak rotation, but still from our reports, like this photo that you just saw, this was north of Katy. But the thing is, where this rotation has set up, it's really been closer to the Cypress area. So folks who live in Bridgeland, to Town Lake, even out to Cypress, we are looking at the potential. Okay, and we're starting to get some signals of strong rotation in Coles Crossing, and I'm just actually going to text my husband right now just to make sure that he is getting into his safe place, because I'm not exactly sure if he has us on. But okay, just want to make sure everybody is safe. If you have family or friends who live, look at this, Barker Cypress Road, and it looks like Jarvis there. So heading toward Coles Crossing, moving up towards Spring Cypress, heavy rain is falling right now, but it's the velocity. And this is the area right where we saw on our shear marker, we see lightning that's coming out. Please, folks, if you live in Coles Crossing, you live in Longwood, you live in the park at Arbordale, you live at North Lake Forest, some of the strongest winds rather are overhead right now. That's where we're seeing the potential for that rotation. It does look like Farm Estates. We have Cypress Mill Park. I will say, if you live in Bridgeland and Town Lake, the center of circulation where this rotation is possible is likely overhead. And so flying debris is going to be dangerous while you're driving. You can't see it coming. The rain's coming down so hard, it's difficult to see. So please go to that safe place. This tornado warning is continuing until 11:30, so another 15 minutes. But it's this area right here. So we are, it does look like that rotation is in Cypress, moving over has crossed 290 and heading toward 249. So you live in any of these neighborhoods that I've been mentioning, and I keep mentioning them because I want to make sure that everybody is staying safe. Grant Road out to Telge, Huffmeister. We're even looking at, it looks like 99 there. These winds are starting to pick up, and I hear our phone at the desk ringing, and that probably means folks are calling and they are seeing some of this in their neighborhood. So I'm just going to zoom back out because we've gone into the nitty gritty of everything. And actually, before I do that, I just want to do a nice track for you showing where this is heading. Tomball, 11 minutes. The Preserve, 19 minutes. Northampton, 20. Creekside Park, Indian Springs. The Woodlands in about 25 minutes from now. Grugan's Mill, Panther Creek. My husband just texted me saying no wind here now, but very dark out. So folks who live over this area, it's going to get dark. We talked about how if there is still a tornado, which like we mentioned, we do have confirmation from the National Weather Service saying that they saw, the public confirmed a tornado was on the ground. We could be seeing flying debris. Mobile homes could be damaged, roofs, windows, vehicles. If a tree falls because of this, this is something that is very dangerous and you need to get to your safe place. Now, the National Weather Service just giving us a little bit of an update. We are seeing still some broad rotation, but that doesn't mean that quickly that funnel could really tighten up and get overhead. So tornado is possible, but we also could be seeing some hail. Right now, it would be about 3/4 of an inch or less, rather. But it does look like, let me just see if they extended this. Still looking like the tornado warning is going to be in effect until 11:30. But folks who are in Cypress, you need to take cover. You live in Coles Crossing, Longwood. And when I look at a reflectivity map, so the radar that you're seeing here at the bottom of your screen, I'm looking for a hook. So you know what a hook looks like. When we see that in the radar, that indicates that the winds are starting to tighten. They're starting to pick up, i.e. a funnel is possible. So that's really what I'm watching for right here. And again, just for reference, if you live in Cypress between 290 and 249, you need to take cover. And really, that does include the 99 corridor. I know that there's some new houses being developed on the other side into Tomball, Charterwood. You need to get into your safe place right now. We are looking at a dynamic atmosphere. And if I just zoom out for you, there's a lot going on. We have an initial line of some showers and storms extending from Huntsville all the way down to the coast. But the front that we're monitoring is out here toward Austin. It's actually now just to the east of Austin. But all of this activity is moving east. Already this morning, if you were joining us on Fox 26 Morning News Weekends, we've seen several tornado warnings out in Louisiana. There's so much moisture that is being pumped up from the Gulf. Then this cold front moves through. That creates a bit of a spin in the atmosphere, and that's why we are tracking a tornado warning as we speak. So I want to take you back down in because this is going to be in effect for another 10 minutes. And National Weather Service has extended this once already. So is there a possibility that they will? You betcha. So please make sure that if you are in Cypress, you live between 290 and 249 here. You live out toward, Tomball. You live in Charterwood. Even folks in the Woodlands, even if we don't necessarily see the tornado warning be extended, guess what? All of this nasty weather is heading toward you. So I'm just going to clear out all of my drawings there, and I want to get into the velocity because where we see on the leading edge here some of these brightest reds and brightest greens, we start to see the winds kick up. We're looking at about 30-mile-per-hour winds. So I will say it's starting to broaden. The winds are decreasing just a bit. That does not mean that that is time for you to not be in shelter anymore. No, there's a tornado warning and you need to make sure that you are in your safe place, away from windows. Go into an interior bathroom. Make sure you have your phone with you and charged so that you can be watching this for us. So it has been I just want to get some timing. 11:06 is when the National Weather Service came out and said that the public did report a tornado on the ground. It is now 11:21. So it has been a little bit of time, but it's these winds right here that we are really concerned about. And this is all going to be approaching 249. Charterwood out to the Vintage. Guess what? You guys are next. So you live there, you live close to 290, or 249, excuse me. You're going to be heading out toward Tomball, the preserve, even Spring in the Woodlands. You're still a ways out, but guess what? You guys are in the sight of this tornado warned storm. So what I'm going to do is pop the lightning back on. Okay. Basically, all of the lightning is centered to where this tornado warning is. So Cypress into Tomball. We're looking at 290 as the most western extent of where this is, and then all the way up to Tomball, so past 249 and into the 99 corridor there. This is where the strong thunderstorm is. We are seeing about 44 lightning strikes. This is starting to pick up, and you guys, look what I just noticed. Back down, similar spot where this tornado, at least funnel, was initially reported, we are seeing another area of some winds starting to pick up. You see these greens and reds right here, and that's what we keep an eye out for. Now, I will say I'm not hearing anything from the National Weather Service on this cell. It's the one here, and every time I look at the latest scan of the radar, these winds on the leading edge start to pick up. We're looking at anywhere from 20 to 35 mile per hour winds. Now, I want to just take a little reset here, because not only is it the winds we are looking at, but this entire area that's shaded in purple here, we have the chance to see a 1/2 to 3/4 inch sized hail. So less than a physical quarter, if you can imagine how big that is, a little bit less. That's not something you want to be out in. That's not something you want your vehicle to be out in. And not only is it that, but it's also the heavy rain. We are looking at rain falling at a rate of about 1 to 2 inches per hour. So again, this is the spot that I have been circling now for what seems like the last 10 minutes. So it is important. You live in Cypress, you live in Tomball, that you are in your safe place. You have family or friends that live in any of these locations that I just mentioned. You are in your safe place. It's the heavy rain. I mean, it truly is the trifecta of potential for severe weather there. So this is a live look at 249. Okay, so this is at Gessner Road, and it is looking back out to the west. So you can see where the dark clouds are. Thank you so much for popping this up for us, Angel. You know, this is over neighborhoods right now. You can see a high school, if not the YMCA, off into the distance. And this is where folks gather on the weekend. Now, I will say it's a holiday weekend, so, you know, hopefully folks are not going to be out too much, but they could be making returns, heading out to the airport, whatever it is. Please make sure that you have family or friends here. They are staying safe. So what I'm showing you right now is our rotation detector. So again, for reference, this right here is 249. And we have Spring Cypress down to Louetta. Any of the spots, roads that I'm mentioning, have the potential to see some of that rotation. And guess what? It is extending almost all the way up to 99. We have North Point Boulevard, Gregson Road, Spring Cypress, and that is something that you do not want to be driving in. So we have another video here. Take a look. This is a live look, 249 at Alice. You can't see the road, folks. You can't see the road. You can barely see the vehicle that's in front of you. This is not something that you want to be driving through. Take a look at the camera bouncing up and down. You can see some trees in the foreground. They are blowing in the wind. So we are really starting to see activity pick up, and in not a good way. I'm going to right now clear folks who live in Bridgeland to Town Lake. You're in the clear from this, at least this cell in particular. But folks who are in Charterwood, Tomball, we're now getting to 249. So, you know, if you did live in Longwood out to Coles Crossing, you're going to start to see some heavy rain, but the velocity or the rotation potential is right along 249 here. So I'm going to take you guys down again. It looks like we just got a refresh in the radar. So I'll actually take you out and look at some of the strong winds that we're seeing. Okay, anywhere from 30 to about 35 miles per hour. This is going to continue as it crosses 249 and starts heading toward Klein, Tomball, even up toward the Woodlands. So what I'm going to do is take you back out to radar. I'm going to pop the lightning on, okay, just as I expected. Remember the Woodlands out to Spring? We're starting to see some of those lightning strikes pop up there. When that happens, we know that there is energy in the atmosphere for the potential for a tornado. Now, I just keep looking at the clock. We have about 3 minutes left in this tornado warning. I have not gotten word yet if that's going to be extended, but obviously as soon as I do, I'll let you know. What I do want to show is that where we are monitoring some of the strongest winds, heaviest rain, and broad rotation is out here. Well, guess what? The Preserve, it's coming to you in about 13 minutes. Northampton in about 14. Creekside Park also in about 18. Sorry guys, I'm just stepping off to grab some water here. And this is what you could be driving through. This is a look at 249 and Alice. When you're driving on this highway, you can't see. You can't see the road. You can barely see the vehicles in front of you. This is a dangerous situation. And I want you to look at the left-hand portion of your screen there, right above where it says 12/28, the date. The wind is also starting to pick up. The camera's bouncing up and down. So this is a dangerous situation. And the National Weather Service has not yet said if it is going to extend this tornado warning. But I just want to show you guys what's on the horizon because we have a lot going on across Southeast Texas. If you joined us this morning, we mentioned that there is a big severe threat today, and it's already coming to fruition. It is 11:28. This was about the time that we were thinking things were going to start to get active, and we saw it a little bit earlier. We have a line right now extending from Huntsville down to the west side of the Woodlands to Cypress, Tomball, down into Fort Bend County, all the way down to Bay City and along the coast. I will say the further south you go, we're not seeing as much lightning. It's folks that live up to the north that are seeing a ton of lightning. That means these storms are ready to go. At any point, they could turn severe. So still haven't heard word if we're going to continue this tornado warning, but I just want you to note that if you hear lightning off in the distance, you're likely going to hear the lightning and thunder rather, see the lightning, and then the line of storm starts to roll in. So you need to make sure you know where your safe place is. This is another look at 249 at Alice. I will say conditions have improved, but what that means for folks that are on 249 is that all that activity is now going to be moving into the neighborhoods. So Cherry Street, we have Hordreth Street. Let me just take this off. It looks like Huffsmith Corville Road. We have Champions Forest, Stubner Airline, Spring Cypress Road, Cozy Road, Rogers Road, Old Luetta. We have Glenlock Forest Drive. Any of these cities, streets rather, that I just mentioned, please make sure you are in your safe place. Please make sure that you and your family know where that is and how to be safe. And the National Weather Service just moments ago did issue yet another tornado warning. This one is going to include Harris as well as Montgomery County. So before it, I'm not sure exactly why it's not popping up at the moment. There we go. This is now in effect until 12:15. So we have 45 minutes with this. So let me just read you guys some info from the National Weather Service. Tornado warning, South Central Montgomery County, North Central Harris. A thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado, which we are looking at right here, was located near Hooks Airport and near Tomball. It's moving northeast at 25 miles per hour. So I will say that has slowed down just a hair, but honestly, not by much. So folks who live in Spring and the Woodlands, you are now in this tornado warned storm. Out to Northampton, into College Park. I mean, we're crossing freeways. Angel, maybe we can start looking at cameras from 45 up near the Woodlands, Oak Ridge North, Panthers Creek, any of these spots, because if one of the cameras is actually pointed west, we can likely see what is coming toward you. Now, the camera that we were just showing was 249 at Alice. Conditions have improved there, which is good news. But the thing is, this tornado warned area is now going to be continuing marching, and I'm talking marching off to the northeast. So this is the spot that we are watching for the potential for rotation. And if I zoom in just a little bit more, we out toward Klein, Bella Sarah, please get in your safe place as we speak. Flying debris is going to be possible. Tornado, possible. Hail, possible. Strong winds, likely, along with that heavy rain. Okay, we have a camera. This is 45 North at Oak Ridge Road. Thank you so much, Angel, our director, who's been popping up these cameras for us. It's dark. The road is slick. The problem is where this center with the chance for rotation is that I've been talking about is still off to your west. So you're thinking, you're driving, hey, I can make it home. I'm going to be good. You need to get to a safe place, and you need to do it immediately. We are looking at lightning. We're looking at heavy rain, which is causing blinding conditions for drivers. And the thing is, with this heavy rain, if there were to be a tornado, which the National Weather Service has come out and said that they have reports from folks on the ground, actually people seeing it, that they have. The problem when there's a ton of rain is that these tornadoes could be rain wrapped, meaning you just see something dark off into the distance and it's heading towards you, and guess what? It's the tornado. So you guys, I'm looking at some winds right now, and they've picked up once again. So National Weather Service did extend this tornado warning. If you live in Klein, we have Stubner Airline Road, Spring Cypress, Kirkendall, out to Bridgestone, Bella Sarah, Grand Parkway, so 99 there, Champions Forest and Spring Cypress. This potential rotation, or actual rotation, but potential funnel, is right overhead. You need to get into your safe place. The radar continues to update, which is awesome. We get new scans of the radar, and I just want to keep showing some of the winds here because, yep, I'm starting to see them really begin to pick up. It's on the leading edge of where this rotation is. So you live in Bridgestone. Klein, it's overhead right now. You better be in your safe spot. When you see these bright reds and bright greens together, you need to make sure that you are staying safe. And we do have a photographer right now. Wow. You know exactly where he is, Angel? Take a look at this. Our photographer is bearing the brunt of driving through this, but you can see how slow he's going. This is blinding rain. Those windshield wipers are on full blast, and he can still barely see the road. If you're driving through this, please just pull over. Please find a safe spot. This is not safe to drive through. We're seeing rain on top of areas that have seen so much rain. Christmas Eve, the day after Christmas, and that means that the flooding roadways are going to be possible. Now, this radar is it's really starting to pick up the winds. And I just keep watching this because I know I'm looking at the radar right now. I can see so many roads that I know there's neighborhoods on. I know there's streets, there's houses with families. Please get to your safe location. It's not safe to be outside right now and driving. And if you are, please try to pull over. You cannot outrun a tornado. I'm just going to say that out loud because it's true. Harris and Montgomery counties, you are under this tornado warning. So I'm zooming out for you because we are looking at a tornado warned storm. Now, there are several other thunderstorms out there, but you see the bright reds and greens here? That is the spot that I'm most concerned with right now because the National Weather Service has come out and said at about 10:40, so almost an hour ago, that the public, somebody took a picture and reported a tornado was on the ground. What I've seen from pictures that they have posted, that a funnel was very close to the ground. So nonetheless, the history of this particular cell is that it can and will likely be producing a tornado at some point. Now, these winds are really starting to pick up, and I know I've said this like 3 times in a row, but I keep saying it because guess what? The winds keep getting stronger and stronger. We're looking at almost 50-mile-per-hour winds right now, and what I'm going to do is actually zoom in. That's 99 and Stubner Airline Road. If you live in this neighborhood, you know exactly where that is. You need to get inside right now, inside your safe place, away from windows. If you can, just turn me up really loud and then get into, let's say it's an interior bathroom or your laundry room, anywhere without windows, so you can hear me continue to talk. Bella Sarah, we have North Crest Village, Kirkendall Road and 290, Spring Stubner Road. We have Forest North, Bridgestone Lakes, Cricket Hills Estates. Any neighborhood, street that I'm mentioning, you are under this rotation. This is a rotating thunderstorm that is capable of producing a tornado. Not just a tornado, hail's going to be possible within this. Very strong winds and very heavy rain. Our director, Angel, has been doing such a great job at pulling up different cameras in this area. So just for reference, again, this is where the tornado warning is, but we have 249 here in Tomball. If you live in Cypress, you're in the clear from this rotation, but it's folks who live in Klein, just south of Tomball here, and then out towards Spring and the Woodlands. I need you guys to get in your safe place. These are very highly populated areas, and guess what? This rotation is heading toward you. They did extend this tornado warning till 11:15, so we still got some time together, just less than 45 minutes. If you live in the Woodlands, this is likely going to be arriving in 15 minutes, meaning you do not have time to go run out and do something. No. This is your time to get into your safe place. Spring, I will say, you are in this tornado warning. You're on the southern edge, but guess what? All of these strong winds that I've been watching on this short edge, they're likely going to clip the northeastern portion of it. And actually, I'm going to try to zoom in here. Oh, we have a camera in the Woodlands, which is awesome. Okay, this is I-45 North at Woodlands Parkway. You guys know that this is a very busy area. It doesn't matter what time of day that you're driving on I-45 near Woodlands Parkway, there's a lot of vehicles out. The road is slick right now, but the thing is, folks likely out shopping at the mall. I know there's a ton of strip centers up and down, and obviously people are probably not outside working out. You don't want to run or whatever, but please don't. Please make sure that you get to your safe place. And I'm just going to take a sip of water real quick. And so remember I mentioned spring. Okay, Angel, let's take us back. We could do the boxes with that, but I want to show folks where some of the strongest winds are right now. Klein, up to Bella Sarah, into Bridgestone. So spring, you're only looking at about 35-mile-per-hour winds right now, but some of these strong winds that we're seeing out toward Bridgestone and Kings Village, they're heading northeast. So I wouldn't be surprised if spring is going to get hit with the strong winds before we see them head to the Woodlands. And the Woodlands right about here. So, you know, this rotation, if I had to guess, is going to be heading right along this arrow that I just drew. These are where the strongest winds are. So they're going to be clipping spring, and then they're going to be basically directly heading toward Grugan's Mill. We have Rayford, as well as the Woodlands. So I just want to do another zoom out because sometimes we get too close, and if you just joined me, I want you to know exactly what's going on. There is a tornado warning in effect until 12:15. This includes portions of Harris County and into Montgomery County. If you live in Cypress, you already heard all the action. It moved through within the last hour, 45 minutes, but now it's heading more into Montgomery County. So Spring, the Woodlands, Oak Ridge North, Hurricane Harbor, the Woodlands Pavilion, Hooks Airport, you know, that just went overhead, and these strong winds will continue. This is now an extension of a previous tornado warned storm that we actually have reports from folks on the ground who did see a funnel touch down, meaning that there was a a funnel, meaning a tornado. So wow, look at this video, guys. This is the first time I'm seeing this as well. We're going to see this together. There is that funnel. This was from a little bit earlier, so north of Katy and heading toward Cypress. But you can see that funnel, those dark clouds. Thankfully, from this vantage point, it doesn't look like they have a ton of rain, so they were able to see it. Oh, wow. Look at that spin. And you can see just the winds starting to twist and turn there. Let me tell you, you don't want to be outside for this. And we are looking at some of the stronger winds now clearing out of Cypress and heading towards Klein. Well, really, it's over Klein, the Woodlands and Spring. So I'm going to zoom down again, and I'm going to turn on the lightning because the Woodlands, I wouldn't be surprised if you start hearing a ton of thunder overhead. I mean, I'm looking at, let me see how many lightning strikes. 42 lightning strikes right now. That's going to be from Woodlock to the Woodlands out to just north of Klein there. Spring, you maybe have some light rain as well as a few lightning strikes. But I want to go back out to our velocity. Turn off the lightning there. Spring, even though you might not be seeing as much rain as what we've been showing on some other cameras, we're looking at some pretty strong winds that are starting to knock on your doorstep. 45 to 46 mile per hour winds, that is significant. So we are looking for the bright reds and greens. That's winds moving toward and away from the radar. But the thing is, if you're under this, it doesn't matter what color they are, what's happening. What we do know is that there is a rotating thunderstorm overhead. I need you guys to take cover. So if you live in Northampton to Klein to Spring, we are looking at that severe thunderstorm that continues to move overhead. Now, there is the potential for some hail. I haven't heard any reports of that. I do have some family in the area, and that's not something that I've heard them say. My husband did text me, though, and say, you were right when you said that out to Bridgeland, to Cypress, to Tomball, that you're in the clear. Things are much, much calmer there. It's folks who live out towards Spring and the Woodlands, I-45, that you need to be keeping a very close eye out on what's happening outside. You can hear the thunder. I know you can. There's been 44 strikes within the last 30 minutes. That is a lot. Heavy rain's going to start pushing in, and the potential for some hail. Now, I keep going back to our rotation detector because this video that you're seeing, that's some of the rotating that we're seeing in the atmosphere. This was from a little bit earlier, but boy, you can see those dark clouds. Now, it's interesting. The dark cloud funnel is still elevated a little bit, but what we are seeing is it's trying to make its way to the ground. And I wouldn't be surprised if maybe it briefly touched down kind of at the beginning of the video and then it almost retreats a little bit. Angel, do you mind just coming back out to me real quick? Because I want to show folks a rotation detector. These reds that you're seeing right here, it's almost a burgundy, strong rotation that our radar is showing. What that means is folks who live along 99 just to the north, we're looking at Mossy Oaks, Stone Mill Courts, Northwood Pines. The rotation that we've been talking about is overhead right now. Please get inside. Do not go out and take video of this. Do not. I need you inside. I need you in your safe place. If you don't have Fox Local downloaded on your phone, try to do so. Turn me up really loud on your television, the volume, so that you can get into your safe place, but you can still hear what I'm saying. If you live in Crossgate Village, you live in Northwood Pines, you live in Enclave Village, Springwood Village Parkway, we have 99 there. We are looking at a rotating thunderstorm. Now, just coming down from the National Weather Service, a severe thunderstorm warning, and I'm going to zoom out just to see where it does pop up. It looks like it's going to be in Montgomery, San Jacinto, and Walker counties. That will be in effect until 11:44 today. 60 mile per hour wind gusts are possible within the severe thunderstorm warning. Oh, there it is. It moved up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going away from the tornado warning for a sec But we have Montgomery, Walker, and San Jacinto counties. The winds are starting to pick up. We're not seeing as good of a rotation signature that we are in the cell that's down toward the Woodlands, but winds are really starting to pick up here. I want to try to get that. Yeah, 60-mile-per-hour winds in this. You need to get inside. You live in New Waverly. You live in Huntsville. You live in Cold Spring. You live up toward Onalaska. You need to get into that safe place immediately. So I want to take you out to Willis. So just on the northern edge of Willis. If that's where you live, you're on the eastern side of Lake Conroe there. Boy, these winds, these are the strongest winds that I have seen all day on the radar. Things are starting to pick up. Now, I will say the reason they put this under a severe thunderstorm warning is there's really not a ton of winds that are moving toward the radar. A lot of them are moving away, meaning that this is likely going to be potentially a straight line wind event up north. But wow, take a look at this, guys. This is down I-45 at Woodlands Parkway. It is starting to turn nasty. This area where we could be seeing rotation is right overhead. It's going to be crossing over I-45 any moment. I need you to get into your safe place. I still see so many folks out on the road, and I just wish that I could get to all of them and say, please get to safety. We have the potential for, or we have a rotating thunderstorm with the potential for a tornado that is heading toward this exact intersection as we speak. So let me actually go down on our FoxRad radar. We have 99 Hardy Toll Road. We have 45. It looks like Springwoods Village and Rayford Road. If you live toward anywhere that I just mentioned, these are some streets. We have the park at Crossgate, Northwood Pines, Spring Hill, down to Enclave Villages, and even towards Spring. The center of this circulation is overhead. Wow. Take a look at these winds, guys. Okay. We have 45 to 55-mile-per-hour winds. Again, this is the area with rotation. This is why the tornado warning has been extended so many times. It is not slowing down in intensity. And if you guys have been with me on social media, I was just up in New York filling in on Fox Weather, and we were talking about the potential for just and I hate to say the word outbreak, but the potential for that today. There is a huge risk for tornadoes, not just in our viewing area. It extends all the way out into Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama. We are just getting in on the early rounds of this. But boy, you guys, these winds right here over Spring, remember I mentioned Spring, it's coming toward you. It's exactly what we're seeing. The Woodlands actually ended up being a bit more on the northern edge of where this rotation is, but we're seeing it. And I want to just get back down. These are neighborhoods. Folks live here, and I want to make sure that everybody is staying safe. So let's go to some street names. We have Old Ox Road, Plum Creek Road, Spring Creek Drive. We have Hardy Road, Fox River Lane, King Briar Drive. If you live at the park at Crossgate, you need to be inside immediately. We are looking at this rotation overhead. So what we have is right here, the Hardy Toll Road, and then we have 45. So basically this intersection is exactly where the rotation is over. And if I zoom out, you can clearly see that. And this has made a trek, guys. I'm just gonna show you. I started looking at this cell before it was the tornado warning, right about here, just north of Brookshire. And we have seen these tornado warnings continue along this line. It's now moving into Spring, the I-45 corridor. So almost from I-10 all the way up to I-45. And actually, I'm just curious to see if I can get a ruler here to see just how long. Now, again, it's not like this tornado has been on the ground. We've just seen reports and pictures and have video of it. But, you know, this thunderstorm, this rotating thunderstorm has extended about 35 miles. And the thing is, it's not slowing down anytime soon. Okay, we have more video from, wow, we just get so many folks that are sending this in, and I appreciate you guys sending it. And I'm glad that you're so far away. Wow, Angel, keep this up. I'm going to zoom. I'm going to walk up. Okay, so you can see some rain, but it almost looks like that there's some flying debris. And that is not something that we want to see. Okay. Yeah, so this was in Brookshire. Remember I said where I was watching, wow, look at that funnel start to come down. It's very, very close. Robert Perry in Brookshire, thank you so much for sharing this with us. I'm so glad that you are safe and that you were able to take this video and share it. But that is the funnel that we initially monitored. And boy, I'm going to look at our debris signature here. Now, this is a lot to take in. When we talk about our debris detector, we're looking for different colors within this pink and orange. Now, you know, this is starting to show maybe some debris, but I would need these to be like a deep blue, darker colors than what you're seeing here. So not necessarily looking at any of that debris falling at this moment, but you know, this is a dangerous situation. Now, the Storm Prediction Center just came out saying areas affected by, remember I mentioned that actually Harris County was not and still isn't, I don't believe, under the tornado watch. Let me actually just get back out to this real quick. No, so it looks like still Harris County is not part of this tornado watch. I think what they're thinking is that all of these cells are going to start to really accelerate, move toward the north and east. And so that's why they are keeping the tornado watch where it is. But obviously, there's multiple storms within this line. And I keep trying to zoom out to show you guys kind of what we're up against. But it's this line that has been capable of producing a tornado, which is overhead. The problem is there is a cold front that's still out to our west right here. Guess what? All of that energy is going to be heading toward us here in southeast Texas. And we're seeing a ton of moisture coming up from the Gulf. That's why you stepped outside and it's humid. And it is just creating an atmosphere with so much juice, so much energy, ready for warnings to pop up. And unfortunately, that's what we're seeing. So guys, I want to get us back out to our velocity scan because now spring. It looks like the center of the storm is going to be on the northern edge of Spring Lakes, Northwood Pines. We have Rayford Road. We have 99 here, Burnham Woods. If you live out toward Porter Heights, you need to get to your safe place. This is the area of rotation that we have been monitoring, and it's moved for almost 40 miles now. I'm not saying a tornado has. What I'm saying is that this specific thunderstorm overhead that's been rotating has moved, and it's stayed, it's broadened a little bit, the rotation, and then it's gotten stronger at some spots, and we've seen the winds pulse. Okay, about 53-mile-per-hour winds. And if I can come down, so we have Grand Parkway here. It looks like Burnham Woods Drive. We have North Ridge Forest. And I'm naming all these streets. Imperial Promenade. It looks like Guadalupe River Boulevard. Woodson River Parkway, Waterbend. I'm naming these streets because I know that you might have family or friends that you know that live here, and it is so important that you are telling them to get to their safe place. Now, I want to zoom out because what I like to do is clear people in the sense that this particular cell, okay, so maybe folks who live just northeast of Klein, rather, we are starting to see still some strong winds. But if you live in Klein, you're in the clear. Tomball, you're in the clear. We're not seeing the strong winds. Everything's now starting to kick off to the northeast, and it almost looks like it's moving east-northeast. Like this track, I would have expected to do one of these, but the rotation is doing one of these. So it's moving east-northeast and at about 20 miles per hour. So what we haven't done in a few minutes is actually time it out. So if I do east-northeast, about 26 miles per hour, looks like Wood Branch. This is likely going to be heading toward you within the next 28 minutes. Now, 12:15 is how long this tornado warning is going to continue, and we're going to be here with you through it all. Our number one priority and goal is that you and your family are safe. And if you have been with us this whole time, we have been clearing folks. So Tomball, Klein, you're almost in the clear. You're like right on the edge. Charterwood, so we have Beltway 8 to 45 here. This is interesting. If I can just zoom in here for a second to actually show you. Okay, winds about peaking at about 35 miles per hour. So it's not the strongest that we've seen, excuse me, by any stretch. But these are still going to be pretty punchy. You're not in the tornado warning, so don't worry about that. This tornado warning, you know, guys, they're going to have to extend this. I know this is supposed to go till 12:15, but the problem is the rotation is going to be out of where this warned area is. So I'm not going to be shocked at all if this gets extended pretty quickly. If you're in Porter Heights, you need to get to your safe place. You need to get off the roads. You need to get inside, away from windows, and have me on your Fox Local app. Okay, we have 99 and Riley Fuzile Road. Apologize if I messed that up, but we are looking at the conditions starting to go downhill. I mean, every time we've talked about this, I've said, yep, we're starting to see the deteriorating conditions because we're trying to find cameras out ahead of where the rain is. So folks that we were showing the Woodlands, that 45 in the Parkway, this has now crossed 45. I mean, this has been moving so fast, you guys. But I want to show you back, Angel, with our velocity scan. And of course, right when we came on, they just redid the winds here, but 64 mile per hour winds. That is now the strongest winds that I have seen reported from the radar this morning. So what actually happened is the National Weather Service skinnied up the polygon. So the Woodlands, you're in the clear. If you live on the northeast side of Spring, you are not in the clear. Some strong winds are overhead, but it's Porter Heights that we are seeing this 64 mile per hour wind overhead right now. This is not something you want to be out and about in. You can see the camera below me. It is raining hard. There's a ton of lightning, and I can actually get, yep, right overhead. Okay, and then remember that other cell that I just showed you? That's starting to pulse up some lightning as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see broad rotation from this area down south. And let me grab, so right down here, so just north of Beltway 8, west of 45 there. Again, it looks like just to the east of 290. But still, this cell that I continue to circle for you, that's really what we are most concerned with at this time. So taking you back out to the radar, we have a line of thunderstorms, broken line down south, but it's this area, Spring to Porter Heights, that you need to get to your safe place. You needed to get there a while ago, but the same area, remember Porter Heights, I mentioned that 64 mile per hour wind? Well, guess what? That's where we could be seeing some strong rotation. We do not like to see the reds and the yellows. Now, the good news is it looks like the radar just updated, and but Porter Heights, man, look at these winds. 56, 50 miles per hour. So it looks like it has dropped below 60, but still, that doesn't mean you can let your guard down. When we talk about these tornado warnings, you need to take cover immediately. Get away from windows. Go to the interior room of your house and know what is to come. So they haven't actually extended the polygon, but they're going to need to. With what I'm seeing, but folks are in the Woodlands to Northampton, you're in the clear. I mean, Cypress, you're not seeing any rain now. All the rain is moving, and it's moving quickly. So I just want to show you, again, not saying that this is going to happen. I do not decide where the polygons are. That's up to the National Weather Service. But what I can tell you, if we go back to velocity, the center of this rotation is moving east-northeast at about 25 miles per hour. Guess what's next? 5969, Roman Forest, Wood Branch, Patton Village rather, you guys are coming up. This could be knocking on your doorstep within the next 20 to 25 minutes. So it's very important that you take this seriously. And Angel, if we can maybe take video of the funnel from earlier. So I've been covering these tornado warnings since 10:30-ish, give or take. That's an hour and a half. That just shows that this rotating thunderstorm is not showing signs of slowing down in the slightest. And the problem is, yes, we're looking at one tornado warned area right now, but I wouldn't be surprised if maybe we see a few more. I mean, you know, nothing is really screaming out at me right now except this area right here. So we have, let me just see what, Cypress Creek Parkway, Walters Road, north of Beltway 8 here, west of I-45. That's really where we're seeing, okay, maybe some stronger winds pulse up. But you guys, like I had mentioned, I thought we were going to extend the tornado warning, and we did. So right there, I mean, moments ago, I had just said this, and here we are. So this old tornado warning is set to expire. This new one is in effect until 12:45. So winds not dropping at all. And if you're just joining us, let me just zoom out. Let's do a nice refresh. I like to try to give everybody an idea of what's happening. This atmosphere is stacked with moisture. You stepped outside this morning, you felt the heat, you felt the humidity. I mean, dew point values, and the sun wasn't even up yet, we're in the low 70s, meaning there is so much moisture and available energy coming from the Gulf of Mexico. This front that we're monitoring right here is going to kick east. Now, the thing is, you're probably saying, okay, well, what is this? It is a line of thunderstorms out ahead of the front that we're monitoring. That's why we've already seen warnings. But out here, we have a severe thunderstorm warning in College Station, or including Bryan College Station. Not technically in our viewing area yet, but you can see all these lines of storms. And if I actually bring on the lightning tracker here, we can see a lot of the lightning is up where this tornado warned area is. Just with this setup, that's what we normally see. A lot of lightning, a lot of heavy rain, which you can see from some of the cameras that we've been showing you. And some of these, you know, we did get reports, and I want to just go back through to kind of give you the history. And while I'm there, let me just keep on the velocity scan, because I think that's what's most important right now. So we have this tornado warned storm, a rotating thunderstorm over Porter Heights. 73-mile-per-hour winds, guys. This is, you need to be inside. If you live in Porter Heights, please. You live in New Caney, you live out to Kiefer, please get inside, get into your safe place. But what I want to let you know is that this cell in particular has a history of a tornado. The National Weather Service does have reports from eyewitnesses that there was a tornado sighted near the intersection of 290 and Spring Cypress Road. This was 10:55. It's now 12:03, so more than an hour ago. This thunderstorm in particular, this cell has been moving so steadily to the north and east. And this now, 73 miles per hour, is the strongest wind that we have seen so far. This is not something that you need to take lightly. Please, Porter Heights, get into your safe place. Excuse me, guys, I just keep needing water there. You need to get to your safe place as the tornado warning has been continued. Now, I'm just going to zoom out because National Weather Service has given us a lot of info here. I wouldn't be surprised if this severe thunderstorm warning they're issuing for the area down south that I had mentioned. Let's see if I can just clear this out. Yep. Exactly. So severe thunderstorm warning because we're really the rotation's not looking all too impressive. But guys, guess what I just noticed? This is Bush Intercontinental. This is the airport. There's probably a ground stop there, and I actually might have it up on my phone that I could see. I don't know. Barbie, do you know if there's a ground stop at Bush? Anyway, we're going to look that up for you. Let me look up. See, IAH. They're just looking at delays right now. That's interesting that there's not a ground delay or anything like that, but I wouldn't be surprised now that there's a severe thunderstorm overhead that gets updated. It got updated last at 11:36, so I'm going to give them a little bit of time, but I'm going to keep watching this for you. So Bush, while we're here, and you guys, I just got picked up from the airport yesterday, and let me tell you, there's a lot of people there. There's a lot of people driving in, leaving, trying to pick up, get your luggage. I know it can be stressful, but adding a severe thunderstorm on top of that, you know, it's not the best situation at the moment. But just note that if you are experiencing maybe some of these storms on the way in, you're listening to us, you had to go to the airport, there's not going to be probably allowed a lot of flights in or out at the moment. You know, we're looking at departure delays, average of 75 minutes and increasing. And like I said, wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of big delays at this airport. But what we continue to watch is this rotating thunderstorm. Now, I'm going to actually take us back, just bear with me a moment, guys, to our radar. I'm going to have the lightning on, and I'm going to zoom out. And what we're going to do is go back about 2 hours, and I want to show you where the tornado warning starts, just north of Katy, through Cypress. Now this is all the way to Porter Heights, and it's heading toward Cleveland. You guys, this is just incredible that this thunderstorm has stayed strong for nearly 50 miles. Now, I'm not saying that there was a tornado this entire time. That was absolutely not the case, but it's just showing that this has the potential to rotate and continue to. Now I'm going to take us out of our loop here, and just getting word from folks up in Pinehurst, we actually want to take a look at our debris detector. Okay, here we go. Remember I showed you this graphic earlier, and it was showing some pinks and oranges. Well, what's happening right now is we're seeing some greens in there and some yellows. That means that there is the potential for lofted debris right now. And if I can zoom in, I'm going to try to get you guys some streets. Dry Creek Road, Old Houston Road, Gene Campbell Boulevard, Rolling Hills Drive. We have Firetown Road, Pretty Walker Road. There is the potential for flying debris. I need you to get inside. Please get away from windows. Turn me up as loud as you can so you can hear, because I need you to get to that safe place. If you can, grab a pillow. When we look at our debris detector, or what we call as meteorologists a correlation coefficient, all you need to know is that when we see these dark colors, there is the potential for some flying debris. And guess what? Boy, these winds are really starting to pick up. Again, Dry Creek Road, this is overhead. Please get inside. 77-mile-per-hour winds. That is the strongest gust that we have seen. Man, okay. National Weather Service saying that we saw it, confirmed warning coming, meaning that they must have gotten some details of a train spotter in the area that saw the potential for some rotation there. Guys, this is getting to be a dangerous situation, and I want you to know that I do not take these things lightly at all. I care about you at home, and I want to make sure that you and your family are staying safe. So if you are hearing me, you have family or friends that live in any of these neighborhoods that I've been talking about, you need to give them a call right now. You need to tell them to get inside. We have seen several videos, several pictures of reported funnels and even tornadoes on the ground. And it's all been just this one cell. There hasn't been a tornado the entire time. No. It's just been this one cell in particular. And this tornado warning now is going to continue for another 35 minutes. The National Weather Service is watching this closely. We are, let me back up. Okay, yes. So, okay, here we go. Let me just read you this from the National Weather Service again. This is now to the east of Woodlock and west of Splendora. National Weather Service has confirmed that this is a large and extremely dangerous tornado was located near Wood Branch, or 10 miles north of Kingwood, moving northeast at 35 miles per hour. Remember, I showed you the debris, and let's see if we can do it again. This is the spot. So it's just on that eastern edge of Woodlock there. damaging tornado, radar indicated, radar confirmed rather. Okay, so there wasn't necessarily a spotter that got video of this, but what they're saying is that the radar confirmed this. If you live, oh, here we go. Guys, you need to get inside right now. This truly, when we see debris this color, that means that there is flying debris. That means there could be flying tree branches. That means that a roof could have flown off somebody's home. Maybe if there was a mobile home that could have been rolled over and moved down the street. I need you guys to get in your safe place. Please, if you hear me, you live along 69 from New Caney to Patton Village, Roman Forest, Splendora. But really, if you live on Fire Tower Road, Hayden Road, I have Pickering Road here, Rayburn Road, Oak Drive, you need to get inside. The National Weather Service is confirming that there is a dangerous tornado overhead. They have been seeing it with... This is, again, the debris tracker, but I want to look at velocity. When we talk about debris that's being lofted by 65-mile-per-hour winds, that is not a good situation to be in. I need you to get away from your windows right now. I don't care if your TV is by the window. You need to bring the remote. You need to turn me up as loud as you can, and you need to get into your half bath that doesn't have any windows. Wherever this interior room is, if you can go under the stairs, whatever it is, I need you to do that right now. So we are watching this closely. Again, there is confirmed from the National Weather Service, they're at least confirming it from the radar, that there is a tornado right now. So again, Old Houston Road, it's happening just to the east of you. Firetown Road, it is overhead. Garrett Road, Portman Road, I need you guys to take your safe place right now. And if we zoom out, it does look like, again, it's not just this cell. There's another one south of it. And that isn't under a severe thunderstorm warning. The problem with this one is, guess what is under this? Bush. One of the busiest airports, well, the busiest airport in our area, but boy, is it busy this time of year. And folks are driving in. There's probably traffic. The thing is, National Weather Service is just saying with this cell, again, over Bush, is broad rotation, which is good news. But there could be some hail in there. And actually, let me see if I can do our hail detector. And it doesn't look like that wants to pop. Oh, here we go. Okay, let me clear this out real quick. Hail possible just to the west of Bush. And we're seeing it up towards Spring. Also, where this tornado likely is, you guys need to get into your safe place. This is a live look at 99 and Riley Fuzile Road. And if I'm saying that wrong, I apologize, but just note, if you're in the area, we're seeing some of that heavy rain. Angel, is there any way we could try to get a camera on 69 up near Splendora, Roman Forest? I really think that's where we're going to start to see that heavy rain moving in. Thank you so much. And let's look at our rain rate. I haven't quite showed this a lot because we've been talking about the rotation, but within these thunderstorms, they are severe, they are rotating, they're dropping hail. We don't have any reports of that yet, but it's definitely a possibility. But the problem is there's a ton of rain. And folks that are out and about, you're not going to be able to see the road. And if there was a tornado, you're not going to be able to see it because it's going to be rain wrapped. So that's what makes this a particularly dangerous situation. And if we go back to our velocity track, and boy, this cell, it continues to march. I mean, it's going to be on the doorstep of Splendora before we know it. Midline, East River, out to Cleveland. You guys need to get into your safe place immediately. Now, I will say the winds have backed off significantly. That's the best news that we could be seeing at this moment in time. Now, I want to get back out to our debris tracker. The problem is this, when we talk about our correlation coefficient, as we call it, debris tracker, meaning if there is a tornado, it picks up debris like it's nothing. And that's what can really cause damage, because no, maybe you don't have the tornado overhead, but someone's roof gets lifted off and then slams into your house. That's where it becomes very dangerous. I'm just going to take a quick sip of water here. But we need you guys. So another update coming down from the National Weather Service. Again, this is the area. You can see Grangerland here, Splendora here, but this is going to be moving east-northeast. And it's moving pretty quickly at 35 miles per hour. Let me see, actually, I'll zoom out just a hair for you guys. At 35, wow, this is, wow. So Splendora, 6 minutes. Remember I mentioned on your doorstep? Yeah, it's exactly what we're seeing. Plum Grove, 13 minutes. Cleveland, 19. National Weather Service saying this is a particularly dangerous situation and you need to take cover now. So I want to do something for you guys, and I'm going to keep this track on, but I'm going to zoom in a little bit. So where we are seeing some of these strong winds, and when there's bright reds and greens together, that's showing a very tight rotation. But of course it just switched. Let's try this one more time. Here, when I go to the debris tracker, it's in the exact same spot that I've been showing the velocity in. So that's how we can kind of verify, because again, if we don't have a train spotter exactly in this area, it might be difficult for us to actually get somebody's eyeballs on it, if you get what I'm saying there. But we can kind of check ourselves, like, okay, the debris tracker is showing that there's lofted debris here, but our velocity is also showing that's exactly where the strong winds are. It's kind of one of those checks. And the radar, basically what it's showing is, okay, I circled exactly where we're seeing the rotation. The problem is there's so much heavy rain and it's in an entire line. So if there is a tornado on the ground, it's going to be rain wrapped. It's going to be difficult to see. And we've been showing you some pictures. Basically, it would look like a dark, basically, wall would be coming at you. And either way, you do not want to be in that. So let's get back to see some of the winds. I will say they're really starting to drop, which just thankfully, because if this was going to continue to be that strong, I mean, it's so hard, and it's going through these densely populated areas. Now, I want to take you back down to Bush, and here is the airport. The good news is broad rotation is now moving north of the airport. And I assume the airport's right around here. It looks like, you know, terminals down here. And okay, we could be seeing some winds. Let me get out to our hail detection. Okay, looks like mainly just to the north, and it does look like some pretty big hail is likely to the north of that. So maybe at Bush in particular, like if you're at the airport, you're watching me, you're waiting for your flight, which like we talked about is probably going to be majorly delayed. Yep, there we go, ground stop. Exactly, I'll get to that in just a moment. But there's still going to be some heavy rain overhead. We'll go back to the radar. Some rain, let's see lightning. Okay, a lot of the lightning is going to be out to your north and east there, but I just want to take a big wide zoom because you guys, we have been tracking these thunderstorms, and I don't want anybody south to think that we're neglecting you, but we're not seeing much in the way of anything severe for you. Some lightning, some heavy rain, you've seen it roll through, but it's really the folks to the north that we need to be keeping this close eye out on. So two things I want to update you guys on. One, I have up the information on the ground stop. So what a ground stop means is that any flight that was planning on coming to Bush will not be leaving their gate. Wherever it is, they're not coming because we have thunderstorms in the area and they don't want folks circling out overhead. So these departures are delayed on average 75 minutes, and this ground stop is in effect until 1:15. So we still got some time. It's only 12:19 here. So I'm going to keep updating that for you. So it does look like, I'm just looking at some things from folks out at the National Weather Service, and we have a lot of train spotters that are out. They are going to be looking. Please, this is not your job to take video. Please do not get near a window if you are under this tornado warned storm. And when we see it shading in purple here, so usually we see a red polygon for a tornado warning. When we have a confirmed tornado warning, like we do with this, they change it to purple so that folks know you need to be on extra alert. This is not just we're seeing rotation. No, no, no. There was a confirmed tornado coming from the National Weather Service. And now the interesting thing is these two cells, so where we're seeing the rotation here and then this broad rotation now north of Atascocita, they're kind of moving a little bit close. And we do have video right now of the Hardy Toll Road in Cypress. There we go, talking about reduced visibility. And, you know, the good news with that is any of that rotation will be cleared out. Oh, Cypress Creek rather. Okay, so yeah, zooming in on the radar, I can see the heavy rain that's moving in. I will say if you're in Kingwood, some broad rotation possible overhead, but it's the folks that live in Splendora to Midline, out to East River, Williams, Cleveland. I need you to get to your safe place. And I'm going to do another track on this as this system is booking it. 35 miles per hour. Cleveland, you're looking at it next. Hardy Toll Road at AirTech South. I mean, these are difficult driving conditions. Take a look at the folks that are driving away from this camera. All of them have their hazards on. You need to. I mean, look, you can't even see those first two initial cars. They didn't drive that far. This is blinding rain that we are seeing moving in. We talked about this threat, and boy, are we seeing it as we speak. Now, so interesting. I'm just looking at info from the National Weather Service and Porter Heights. So apparently there's been a lot of calls to 911 because, well, exactly remember where we saw that debris signature? There was a lot, so a lot of calls. So maybe this is something that definitely the National Weather Service is going to need to go out and investigate to see, okay, we did have that confirmed tornado that we talked about, but what type of damage did it do? I'm not going to lie, I have not seen too many tornadoes in markets that I've worked that I've actually seen a clear debris flow from this debris tracker, but boy, did we see it today, and we likely will continue to. Now, this is a live look at Hardy Toll Road at Ritchie Ramp. You can't see the vehicles, guys. We talked about how, I'm just going to take a quick sip of water here. We talked about how difficult it would be to see if there was a tornado. Now, I'm bringing you back out to the debris tracker because we were watching it on the air together when we saw some greens and blues. And what that means is that the darker the color on this map is, the higher likelihood that there's flying debris. The good news is, just north of Splendora, that it's died down a little bit. It's getting closer to the warmer colors rather than the cooler colors. So that is good. That's what I'm thinking, that we are seeing some broadening, which our latest velocity scan is showing just that. Wow, you guys, going from, what was it, 77 mile per hour winds to 37 in the matter of, I'd probably say 25 minutes. So this cell has been decreasing in intensity, which is great news. The thing is, this tornado warning is set to expire in 20 minutes. So at 12:45. So we still got some time. Now I'm hoping that they'll think, okay, you know, maybe it has kind of run its course. But then we're up toward Atascocita, Kingwood, Porter. Well, guess what? These winds are starting to pick up now. Oop, let me go here. We're looking at about 45 mile per hour winds. Okay, not the strongest we've seen. Definitely not the weakest, I can tell you that. So that's where the severe thunderstorm warning is. Kingwood, any broad rotation looks like it's now to your north. But if we take you back out, we can definitely still see on the radar that it's busy. We're still seeing a lot of that rain. And it's interesting to look at inside the loop in Houston. There's like barely any rain. But what's happening, you know, just 30, 40 miles north, is the potential for rotation. Now, when we look at our reflectivity right here, so it's kind of in between the warnings, that's showing really heavy rain. Okay, from Kyle, our director, this is video. Do you know what area he lives in? Sorry, we're just getting more info. He lives in Porter Heights. Yeah, Porter Heights. So remember I said where the debris is flowing. You guys, look at this. Oh, hail is falling. I can see hail. Okay, we have, looks like hail was falling during this storm. Wow, you can see it looks like his entire front yard is almost full of that. Conditions went down quickly there. You could see a very reduced visibility. Those trees are starting to blow in the wind. When we talked about our debris tracker, when the winds pick up any debris, meaning a tree limb, someone's roof, wow, look at that. That definitely looks like hail. Maybe from this angle it's just rain that's really thick, but I mean, like I mentioned, hail possible in these. Wow, Kyle, thank you so much for sharing, and I really hope that you are staying safe and inside. I will say, Porter Heights, you're in the clear, which is great news, at least from the rotation. 3 minutes of what, Angels? Okay. So I just want to let you guys know that we do have a basketball game starting in about 4 minutes. So what's going to happen is we'll leave just a little box up so you guys can see everything. But if you switch over to the Fox Local app, that's free for your phone, for your smart TV, free. We're here for you. We will be continuing to monitor these conditions. And we have basketball, folks want to watch it, and we totally understand that. But if we were to see another very strong potential tornado come, obviously we would get back on the air for you guys, but we just want to make sure that we don't have to break into the programming, but we're going to be on digital. So not only are we going to be on the Fox Local app, we'll be on our website. So there's a lot of ways that you can continue to watch us on our regular app. I mean, we've got you covered. So just quickly before, we just have limited time here. I just want to show you what's happening across the region. It is an active day. There's a ton of moisture moving in from the Gulf. We're seeing instability in the atmosphere. We're looking at a front that is now making its way through College Station, a few severe thunderstorm warnings that are popping up out in Washington County. And this is all going to be moving across Southeast Texas. So we talked about how mainly north of I-10 would be seeing it, and you guys, that is coming to fruition. If you get a tornado warning on your phone, please go to your safe place. You need to get away from windows. That's why downloading the Fox Local app on your phone is going to be your best friend, because I'm going to be here, and then we're going to do a handoff, and Ramisha Shade will be here. We've got you covered. We care about you guys. We want to make sure you're safe, and we have had several reports of a tornado. Now, it doesn't look like we see that tornado anymore, which is great news. I do just want to leave you guys, at least our on-air folks, with this confirmed tornado warning from a tornado that was likely out near Porter Heights. Remember, we just showed you that video. But if we take you out and quickly show you the velocity, we have lost any winds going toward the radar, which is fabulous news, meaning that rotation has weakened. Doesn't mean the winds have weakened necessarily. We're still looking along this line here, anywhere from 30 to about 45-mile-per-hour winds. That's still going to be impactful. But the good news is that it doesn't look like that this setup, or really that this cell right now, is supporting enough rotation for a tornado at this time. So not going to be surprised, like I mentioned, if they maybe expire this, but we still have about 15 minutes to go and just 20 more seconds, guys. National Weather Service saying a tornado was sighted near FM 2090 and Splendora High School area with a lot of debris. That was the debris tracker that we were watching. So you guys, we're going to go to basketball. Please stick with us on the free. Oh, we're going to stick with me. Oh, I thought you said 3 minutes. Okay, sorry, change of plans, guys. We're not going to go to basketball right now. We are going to keep going with this. So that's good. Oh, we're going to put me in a box with basketball. So we won't have the audio for that. But we want to continue to watch this. So Angel, maybe we can just take links 1 so I can just talk through exactly what we're seeing. So again, basketball is going to be on your left, guys, until this tornado warning does expire, which is going to be likely in about 15 minutes from now. This goes until 12:45. So Splendora. Now, let me just reread that so we can just kind of go through exactly what the National